All right. We're in it. We're in it to win it. How you feeling, bud?
Sleepy boy.
Sleepy?
Yep.
Sleepy.
It's been a long week.
Oh, hopped up on.
But yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
that's good.
I'm here for you. I'm here for them.
For the people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's not keep the people waiting.
Okay.
We got a nice setup of brewskis for us to enjoy this week.
We do.
And it is an old favorite that continues to evolve. Obi, please tell us what we're drinking tonight.
We have the latest Voodoo Ranger called the Higher Plane IPA Hazy Imperial IPA. Higher Plane IPA achieves the perfect balance of delicately bitter flavors and tropical, juicy aromas. Channel your inner haze. It is an 8.5 ABV, and that is from the New Belgium Brewing Company.
The New Belgium Brewing Company. Well, I think I'll grab that right there. I mean, I don't think there's not much else to say.
There isn't.
But that I'm Marco Dupa,
Mm-hmm.
and you're Adam Obesius Rodriguez,
I am.
and this is the One Beer In Podcast. Yeah.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I
All right.
am.
This is the One Beer In Podcast, the podcast where two brews crack open a brew, and we see where that one brew takes us. This is episode 288. And, yeah, back again.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden has won again, and so that's good. Just
Yeah.
in case anybody was wondering.
He was just finally confirmed in Georgia.
Yeah. So he's still the president-elect.
Yeah.
Just in case that was uncertain for some people.
Still is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Rudy Giuliani
Dude.
with his inky, drippy
I
head.
mean, what's going on? What's going on?
We're going to look back at this time and just shake our heads violently.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't even know what to say anymore. It's become a fucking circus.
Yeah.
Well, it already was,
Has
but
been, yeah.
it's now to a point where it's like I don't even know what to say anymore.
Yep.
I see things, I see them doing things,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, this can't be real. This feels like 2016, where you're like, this can't be real. This cannot be the world that we're living in. This guy cannot, like, in 2016, I remember thinking, like, there's no way he's getting that many votes. This can't be real.
Yeah.
And now it's the same thing, where you see Rudy Giuliani sweating his... Why is he dyeing his hair?
I don't know.
He looks like if mud could come alive. Why is he dyeing his hair?
Rudy Giuliani, a.k.a. Living Mud.
No one is going to mistake him for a spring chicken. Like,
I'll-
what is he thinking?
I'll tell you why. It's because him and a lot of sort of that Donald Trump crowd are very, very vain. So they're trying to hold on to as much of, I guess, what they see as their youthful look as possible.
And that shit is bananas to me, because even if you're trying to hold on to your youth, I mean, he objectively looks awful.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the hair dye. I just mean as a human being, objectively, he looks awful.
Well, being scum will do that to you.
Yeah, scum ages you.
Right.
And when you ooze it, that's what he was sweating. It was scum.
Yeah.
So I don't know what, and then I guess even Trump himself, like that press conference he had, everyone's like, "What the fuck?" It's like he aged.
I saw a ghost. His hair turned white.
Honestly, dog, I'm gonna say it. The hair looked better.
Yeah,
it looked better natural.
It did.
He I mean, I hate to give the guy a compliment, but the hair looked normal-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the shape is still, on another planet, but
Yeah.
the color itself didn't look bad.
Do you think he'd look better without the spray tan or worse?
1,000% he would look better, because here's the thing. We're so used to seeing him with the spray tan that it would be jarring at first.
Yeah.
But he's a pale dude.
Right.
So like if he had just come in the game like that, or even if you look back at his old pictures, like when he was younger, he was a pale dude. So
Yeah.
I think people would get used to it after a while. And then, I mean, we'll get off Trump. Okay. But I just need to say this, because it's kind of fascinating to me that he's still. One day I hope that we do get a candid tell-all from him, because politics aside, apocalypse aside, I'm fascinated by his psyche.
Yeah.
Being the president of the United States, he has unlimited resources, you would think. Almost unlimited resources.
As close to it as you possibly could.
Right. I don't want to get into the minutia of that. But what I'm saying is he could find a tailor in seconds.
Of course.
There is absolutely no reason why he should be wearing ill-fitted suits, bonkers length ties. Mm-hmm. His hair shouldn't look the way that it does. His skin shouldn't look the way that... Like, it's just crazy to me that he spent 4 years looking the way that he does.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with his personality trait of not being able to be told anything negative about his appearance, about his choices, about his opinion.
Yeah.
And so, we've talked ad nauseum about people who are just surrounding themselves by yes men. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens. You get insulated, and then, people can't tell you anything.
Yeah.
You look like an idiot, but, you dress yourself as an idiot, and therefore that's what you're going to be.
But what's worse? Going out and looking like an idiot, or having one of your people tell you look like an idiot?
Looking like an idiot.
Looking like an idiot.
Of course. But you're thinking with logic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't know. I remember when I think it was like a year into Trump's presidency, and GQ had done this like mock-up of him if he had just any amount of humility and just let a stylist get to him, and he looked like. I mean, if he wasn't an evil scumbag, like he looked like a normal dude. Yeah. It's just really, I don't know, man. It's wild.
The Biden and Trump mock-ups of them with cool-ass beards is flabbergasting.
Yeah.
They look awesome.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Objectively.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. What's even crazier is like when you look at Trump's kids and what happened when they actually grew beards, you're like, eesh. How did growing a beard have the opposite effect on those dudes? Like a beard is supposed to up the ante for almost any dude on the planet. You grow a beard.
I've been relying on it for years.
I mean, mine doesn't even connect, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's connecting over the years, but even mine is like, it's enough.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, let's do away with the politics.
Please, I think everyone is over it.
I, for one, and for the millions of people out there, need to know what it's like to actually get your hands on a PlayStation 5.
Mitts.
Get those grubby little mitts.
Yeah. So I, as I said on the show, I was pretty resigned to not getting a PlayStation until sometime next year, right?
Like the rest of us.
Exactly. It's the way it was looking. And, we recorded last week. And, actually, no, it was just the time we were hanging out.
Yeah.
During the weekend. And you headed out. And I started looking for anyone selling. And it popped up for literally like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I checked on... PlayStation Direct store, because they're selling it directly from Sony. Popped in there, got in the queue to wait because websites have wait lists now, apparently.
What a world we're living in.
I literally sat on there for 45 minutes waiting for my time.
Yeah.
5 minutes. 5 minutes before I was supposed to be let in, got a notification from Wario64 on Twitter saying they're out. You can still stay in line. Who knows? Maybe it'll pop back up, but so far they're out.
Shout out to Warrior64, by the way.
Yes, for sure.
It's a good page.
Mm-hmm. So eventually I get in, and lo and behold, sold out. It says try again later. So I just stay on there, refresh. Open up Target.com. Refresh. Nothing. Target then eventually pops up for a second again. I click it, add it to my cart, and then I go to pay, putting in all my information. I put in all the correct card information, hit pay, and it goes, there's something wrong with your security code. And I look at the card. I'm like, no, it's correct. Try it again and again, and I start seeing people on Twitter saying, got this far, and it's literally the part that I got to where it's saying something's wrong with your security card.
And they're like, nah, I think there's something wrong with your security card.
Yeah.
So
it got to about, I think, 2 a.m. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to bed now. Just going to go to bed.
Yeah.
Forget it. I'll open the pages. I'll refresh in the morning, see what happens.
I like that we've both kind of resigned ourselves to just waiting, and then at something in your brain was like, no,
I need it. Like,
I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll keep refreshing.
Yeah. I'll, the bare minimum. I'll just, wake up early and get on my computer immediately and start hitting that refresh button.
Refresh.
So I had a doctor's appointment in the morning, and on the way to the doctor's, I just on my phone, I already had the page open on bestbuy.com. Because, of course, I'm looking on my phone and on my laptop at the same time.
Of course.
The bare minimum. I'm really not trying here.
Yeah.
So on my way to the doctor's, literally in the car, I'm at a red light, and I just say, you know what, I'm going to give it a look anyway. I might as well. I look on bestbuy.com, and lo and behold, it's available. The little button's yellow.
Lo and behold.
I hit the button. I'm already logged in because I know I don't want to waste any time. Click the button. It takes me to my cart. Nothing in my cart. The light's green. I start driving. I'm being dangerous.
I mean, you gotta live dangerously if you want to.
Bare minimum. I'm doing the bare minimum. And so I just keep hitting refresh over and over again.
Yeah.
About 10 refreshes in, pops up. Complete order. I hit the button. Text notification. I'm good to go.
Is that what the website did?
Slow thumb. You got it, bud.
Slow thumb.
So yeah, I literally did that in the parking lot of my doctor's office.
Yeah.
And I immediately felt better. I went home. I didn't even need to see the doctor anymore.
Yeah. When doctor walked out like, hey, you got an appointment. Not anymore. Now I have a PlayStation.
I got an appointment with Sony. So yeah, I got it. It's large.
It's massive.
It's a very big console.
Yeah,
I know that's cliche by this point, but no, you don't understand. You have to look at it with your own eyes to understand how big this thing is.
Yeah,
it's massive.
It's
chunky.
It's a lot. It's a lot bigger than any picture will do justice.
Than you can even fathom.
Even when you see pictures of it next to the PS4, even then you're like, wow, it's a lot bigger than the PS4. And then when you see it in person, you're like, whoa, it's a lot bigger.
It's comically big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how much needs to be housed in that thing?
I don't know. To be fair, they did say it was because they were trying to keep it quiet and, cool.
Respect.
And it's quiet. It's very quiet.
Well, yours sounded like a jet engine. Your
My
PS4, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
On its last leg, it was like,
Yeah.
I'm trying.
It's the SpongeBob out of breath meme.
Just. So, all right. So it arrives.
Yeah,
And how was the? Oh, I should have filmed the unboxing.
it's true. That was content.
Yeah,
That was content.
That was content.
I was thinking about it, but I didn't want to be that vain.
Oh, fuck you! No, fuck that. No.
I know.
Mm-mm.
It's content, baby.
Next time. What did I get a new camera for?
I couldn't wait for you.
Yeah.
You know that.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I brought the baby home from Best Buy.
Let's put it back in the box.
Cradle. I kept the box.
Unbox it again.
We can open it again if you want. We'll just cut this part out of the show.
Yeah.
Nobody will know the difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Or leave it in. That's even funnier. Leave this part in and then still do the unboxing.
just pretend. God,
wow.
this is amazing.
Can you believe how big it is?
I'm already logged in. It's
It's crazy. Sony.
insane. You shouldn't. Yeah. But yeah, I brought it home, hooked it right up.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy setup. Actually super easy. If you have the new PlayStation app, they redesigned the entire thing. But there's literally a button that is like sync PS5 with your login info.
That's good because the PlayStation app is kind of dog shit.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely was. It's way better now.
That's good.
But yeah, you just they'll put a QR code on your screen. You just use the app.
Oh,
Bam, and you're logged in.
bro. Did we say this about? No, we haven't really mentioned this about the QR codes because if you go to any restaurant now, pretty much every restaurant has done the thing with the QR codes where they're like, here's our drink menu. If you want the full menu, just scan the QR code with your phone, and it brings it up to. Oh, you don't know this?
No, I haven't really been in restaurants.
Yeah, we. I mean, I haven't either.
Okay.
I went to Chili's with my family,
Wow.
but it was a socially distanced Chili's.
Okay.
I got tested. Okay, I'm still COVID free. I wouldn't be in this house, in this apartment.
All right.
Anyway, that's not the point of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Shame me all you want. Okay, I needed the honey chicken. The Chipotle honey chicken crispers, okay? Southwest egg rolls?
You couldn't get any of those to go? No?
Not me.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
All right.
So anyway, what restaurants are doing now is instead of having their full menu out for everybody to get their nasty little hands on, they're putting out literally just the drink menu. And then, as soon as you get your drinks, they take that shit and they wipe that fucking thing down.
Yeah.
And if you want the full menu, you have to use your phone to scan it with the QR code. And let me tell you something. Mean Gene. The fact that every single restaurant hasn't been doing the QR code thing years
Forever.
ago.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, I was like, it's crazy that the minute that smartphones became ubiquitous with everything that we do, that should have been the next thing.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason why you should go to some restaurant and they've got some like construction papered menu that's getting
it's
wet
soggy.
and disgusting. Yeah. And half of it's ripped.
There's like stains and
There's no reason for that shit.
yeah. I mean, we may see the end of that moving forward.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope they never bring back menus because here's the thing.
Smart.
Not only is it more convenient and more hygienic for everybody involved, it's also more convenient for the restaurants. If they need to change anything on the fly, they can do it like that.
Yeah.
And they could do it. Menus could be live. If you run out of a thing, you could literally scratch that off the menu for that night.
Yep.
It's just possibilities are endless. So
Yeah.
it's dope that you just scan the QR code from the app and it sets the thing up. Everything should be doing that.
Another idea for menus too is if you have like a login, maybe you can get like customized coupons for something. Like you super love those egg rolls. So, this visit you'll get them half off. You know,
Look at you working for the algorithm.
it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
And yeah, I mean, they can keep like a stash of menus in the back, or they can print them for anyone who like, you know, your grandma who doesn't have a smartphone or something.
Of course.
But
Yeah, that's the one thing I was saying this to somebody else, and that was their argument against it. And it was like, what do you think? They're just like, we're gonna like throw away all the printers, and
Right.
like we're just never gonna be like, come on, man.
Yeah, super simple. You can have like a sleeve, like a plastic sleeve that you just print it out, slide it right in.
Yeah.
There you go.
Give
There
it
you
to
go,
grandma,
Granny.
And then
Yeah.
she can get her, lobster bisque.
Right. Or literally, hey, grandma, look, what do you want?
Right. I mean, if you're bringing your grandma, well, first of all, you shouldn't be bringing your grandma out right
No,
now.
you
but,
should not.
If you're a psychopath, then read the menu to grandma.
Yeah.
Pick it for her.
You can do that.
Chew it for her.
Spit it in her
baby
mouth.
bird. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying not to laugh. I'm having like
I know.
I'm having chest issues right now.
I'm having
chest pains. So I'm physically trying to keep myself from laughing because that's a risky maneuver right now. But I'm laughing internally. I'm
Sorry.
smizing.
Let's have the super serious podcast. I mean, no jokes.
Yes.
Okay, so QR code scanned brings up your profile,
Right.
and you're in.
Yeah.
And then just bloop, 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 all the games. What are we looking at?
So if you have Plus, PlayStation Plus, you're automatically given an entire roster of games from the PS4. I should clarify.
Right.
That are just yours. You can play them, download whatever you want. A lot of really, really good games, like a handful of all-time classics. If you miss them on PS4, I mean, I was just thinking if you only played Xbox the last generation and you're going into PS5, jumping into PlayStation for the first time since PS3 or whatever, this is such an amazing deal for you because you can go back and play everything that you missed, essentially close to every single like mainline big title that you missed for the cost of the online subscription.
Yeah.
Totally insane.
Straight up classics.
Yeah. And there were a few games in there that I missed, and I'm like, pretty active gamer. But there's even stuff that I didn't get to yet.
Active gamer.
Real gamers, bro. Mm-hmm. But like, I never got into Days Gone, so that's there. Final Fantasy 15, I think it is.
Yeah.
Never played that, so I'd like to get in that, and a few other things too here and there that I missed, and a few things that I do have on PS4, but just download it online, so I have it on my PS5, so I can just switch directly over to it.
Why the hell not?
Re-downloaded Bloodborne because it's there, and it'll probably load faster.
Did you get Demon Souls?
No,
Okay.
no, I did not. Not yet.
Let's see.
Not yet.
What are you waiting on?
I don't know. I mean, I want to. Okay, so kind of spoiler alert here, but I ended up getting Spider-Man Miles Morales, just the launch edition, just because I got a super good deal on it, as I told you. But I heard that you can download the not remake, but like update of the original game after the fact.
On Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm hoping that's true. I haven't seen the ability to do that.
So wait.
Because there are two versions of the Miles Morales game that you can get.
Yeah.
There's like an ultimate version that comes with the updated version of Spider-Man.
Remaster.
That's what. Yeah, the remaster. And then there's just the launch edition, which is the one I have. That's just the Miles Morales game.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
You got it for a killer deal.
Yeah. I couldn't pass that up.
Yeah. It makes. I mean, they say it's like what 15 hours of playtime.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
That's. It seems like it's more than enough. Like, just I played maybe the first 3 hours or so, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But anyway, so yeah, it comes with all those classic PS4 games. It comes preloaded with Astro's Playroom, which is another Astrobot game. And
you got to be a PS4 OG for that.
Yeah, and a PSVR, super good PSVR game for that too. But it's super cute. It's way better than it has any right to be. It's essentially like a demo for your controller. So it teaches you all of the mechanics, all the new bells and whistles for the controller,
as the first one did.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really its purpose, but it goes above and beyond that into being like this tribute for PlayStation. So you collect these artifacts, and they're all like the old PlayStation consoles and devices and little weird obscure things like the portable camera for the PSP and like all this like really niche stuff that you wouldn't know unless you were there or like you just knew about it at the time.
Yeah.
So it's just really, really cool as like a longtime PlayStation fan for them to throw something like that in. And I mean, just a really fun game on top of it being free.
Yeah.
So it's not just a demo. It's not just a trial thing. It's actually pretty much a full-fledged game that they've kind of hinted at expanding into more of like even more of a game.
Yeah.
But as is, it's super fun. Highly recommend you give it a try as like your first game out the box. Because it really is like a showcase of everything the controller does.
My first game out the box is going to be your Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
That
does not surprise me at all.
It arrived, and everyone in my family was like, "So, are you gonna like play it and then like sneak it back into the plastic?" And I was like, "Nah, he would know. Adam's got the eagle eye.
Yeah,
he would know.
I'd smell it.
Yeah, there's no getting that. No getting past him.
Yeah, but beyond that, it comes with currently this month at least Bug Snacks, which I think they're going to carry over until the new year, just so that everybody who's buying them in this early cycle gets to play it.
Yeah.
Which is, another complete, fully fledged game. It's not hyper realistic. It's not like the best graphics in the world, but it's really endearing and cute and reminds me a lot of Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
Which is fun. And the thing that stands out about that game most is sort of the characters in it. It's just a really fun kind of like Muppet like story. It's essentially like a puzzle game. So yeah, I mean, out the box, you're given a lot of value. Just straight like that.
Straight like that.
Straight like that.
I mean, that's when you think about like the launch, the launches of any of these other consoles. I mean, this has got to be the most stacked launch, I think, maybe ever.
Yeah.
Because when you think about like, obviously, other consoles had iconic launch games.
Yeah, like the Switch had Breath of the Wild,
right?
Which is incredible.
I mean, just like when you think about it in the history of consoles,
Mario 64.
Yeah, I mean that's just, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so there's obviously more iconic titles at launch, but to think about everything that you're getting with the PS5 at launch, it's got to be the best rollout.
Yeah, I would say the only other thing that comes to mind as far as like pack in the console is maybe like when the NES came out with, I think it was Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
And if there were any other pack-ins like that too with the like original Nintendo systems, but beyond that, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that matches Astro's Playroom as far as like quality that you're getting for nothing
on like on basically a glorified demo.
Yeah, it's essentially what it is.
Now, any cons so far? We've named a lot of great things. Has any drawbacks, any setbacks, any weird like? Because I mean, obviously online you've seen a lot of stories about games crashing. I know that apparently I don't know if this is still going on, but there's a bug with Call of Duty Cold War where if you're not hardwired to the PlayStation and turn off the Bluetooth on your controller, it basically crashes. And then you have to restart the entire game. You can't just close the application. You have to restart your PlayStation.
Yes.
There's the network issue bug that's been going on, which obviously, I mean, I'm sure you would have told me if you've experienced that. So, but any drawbacks?
So far, nothing to that level. The only thing that I've noticed is, and it may be a TV issue, but it seems like there's almost like an echo in a lot of the sound. I think it may be going for like a surround sound, but coming from my surround sound. But coming from my TV, it doesn't like have the distance and the space to make that make sense. So it's like almost like two speakers having the same sound come out just like a millisecond distance back, you know?
Yeah.
I noticed that it bothered me for a little bit. I think I figured it out because in the game, it was actually in Spider-Man that I noticed it most with dialogue. So I went in and kind of fooled around with the sound settings, and I think I figured it out. Switching it to make sure it's on TV mode definitely helped. But that was one thing I noticed even with Bug Snacks too. So again, it might be a TV thing, but that was kind of the biggest gripe I have. I mean, the UI of the entire thing takes a little while to get used to.
Yeah. So they've altered it a lot from the PlayStation 4?
For sure. There are cards now that you're using. Also, I'm used to the PS4 where you hold down the PlayStation button and you get that menu that's like power.
I never used that quick menu.
Yeah. I'm used to using that whenever I want to shut down my PlayStation. So whenever I do that now, it doesn't work the same way on PS5. So you have to tap it once, and then it brings up the game menu, and then from there you can get into like the settings and then power and off. So it's like
that's how I always did it.
Yeah.
So good. I'm gonna be used to.
I was gonna say I guess most people did it that way, but I don't know. That's how I always learned to do it. So it's taken a little learning.
Yeah, it's funny. Anytime that I would long hold that button and bring up that menu, I'm like, this is really convenient. I need to do this more often. But like the muscle memory is always tap, boop, all the way to the fucking.
Yeah.
I wonder if, and I don't know, maybe you can clue me in. One of my biggest pet peeves about the PS4 is whenever you're using it as a streaming device, that you have to bounce out of that app, go all the way back to the menu, re-click an app, and then bounce back in, versus just jumping out like a quick time, like jump out of the app but still be within your app selection,
right?
And then click it and be able to jump back into it really fast.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've gotten that far as like what you've been experimenting with.
No, and honestly, I don't see myself using a lot of those apps. Just because, I have a smart TV, I don't really need any of those.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, and really anything that I don't have on my smart TV, I can just cast because, I can cast it. That's
crazy when you think about that.
Yeah.
Like everything it's all
built in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I still downloaded them just in case. I feel lazy one day and just want to like go directly from playing Spider-Man to watching Netflix, but
yeah,
I just don't really see myself doing that very often.
That's how I usually I just use it because you just get used to it.
Yeah, and
it's like, you can use your smart TV for most of those things, but then it's like, I don't know, my PlayStation is on, and then I can just bounce from one thing to the next.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know, it's just more convenient.
Yeah. Let's see what else. I mean, I guess to kind of round out my impressions, you can ask me more questions if you want to, but to round out my impressions of it early on, I've only had it for a few days now. The biggest standout is definitely the controller.
Yeah.
That's like, it looks beautiful. The graphics are super smooth and it's really pretty and loads super fast. especially with Spider-Man.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah. But the real standout is the controller. It's first of all, the battery's lasted super long. I haven't had to recharge it yet, and it probably has, I don't know, like 3 hours, 3.5 hours, something like that.
That's what's up.
And the fact that it's doing so much all the time on top of that is just super impressive.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, that haptic feedback, game changer.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's insane.
Talk about it.
I am super, super happy that the PlayStation came packed in. You can just take this one, you know.
But I like the setup.
Okay. I'm super happy the PlayStation came packed in with Astro because that showcases the haptic feedback exactly how I wanted to check it out and all of its nuances and stuff.
Yeah.
It just, the fact that you can feel so much in your controller now, and there's so much nuance and feedback from everything you do that's available, it really immerses you a lot more into the game.
Well, that were you the one who shared the video of the trigger?
Call of Duty, yeah,
that's incredible.
yeah.
So, and that's like a super obvious thing to do with the game.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine the potential of that. You know?
Yeah. So for people who haven't seen that video, in Cold War for PS5, they have the haptic feedback option that allows you to have every single gun trigger pull feel different. So like the most obvious one's like a double barrel shotgun, right?
Yeah.
So you pull a little bit and you feel it click and it fires one of the rounds, and then you pull a little bit harder and it does the other one.
That's gonna take some getting used to.
Well, and a lot of people who play competitively and stuff will obviously turn that off.
Yeah.
But just even playing like single player from immersion standpoint is just super cool.
Mm-hmm. Do you have Cold War?
No, I don't.
You need to get Cold War.
I will. Don't you worry.
Play some zombies.
I'm getting there.
Oh, I'm getting there.
I'm getting there, brother.
Does PS5 cross-platform with PS4? I actually never looked into this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It does?
Yeah, because it has backwards compatibility, so why wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
I'm pretty sure. It wouldn't make sense for them not to.
Yeah. No, it really wouldn't.
So yeah, I'm.
You kill a huge player base.
Yeah.
So far, anyway. Obviously,
Yeah,
everyone's going to catch up eventually. But
yeah, I know for sure people are cross playing like. Oh wow.
Let's go.
Like a lot of the competitive online games and stuff. So.
Right. Okay.
I would say pretty certain it does.
Okay.
But yeah, again, the big standout's the controller. It just has so much technology packed into it, and it feels really good.
Yeah.
I'd say most importantly, it's very ergonomic. It took a little bit getting used to for me, just because it is a little beefier.
Beefy.
And it feels almost a little bit more like an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
There's more like girth to it.
Mm-hmm.
Girth. Yeah, which I don't have the biggest hands, so I was kind of more used to like the smaller DualShock feel of those like nubs at the end, but you don't have those anymore. It's just like flat out. But that being said, like it's super comfortable. I again played for a couple hours back to back without having any fatigue. The funny thing is those adaptive or the triggers.
Yeah.
That feedback after a while can actually tire your fingers out.
Really?
Yeah. So I started to be like, oh, my hand's kind of tired from like just the tension on the pull.
Yeah.
So that's new, but super cool. The microphone is right there on the controller too. I don't see people using that a whole ton, but it's cool that it's there.
Yeah.
And for certain games they can use that for another feature.
Yeah. And they're I mean, they're definitely going to have in certain games where you have to like actually give audio commands and stuff like that. So
Yep. And let's see. Touchpad's still there, works the same.
Yeah.
The speaker sounds a lot better.
I should bring it. I'm gonna grab it.
Okay. The speaker on it sounds a lot clearer. I don't know if that's just me, but it sounds a lot better.
Well, like the speaker from the controller.
Yeah. Because I just spent dozens of hours beating Death Stranding, and that baby cries a lot on your controller.
Oh, did you? Okay, so you. I guess we could talk about that. But... Okay. All right. This is only for the YouTubes. The YouTubes. But if you're watching,
Ooh.
look at that.
Ah.
Look at that beautiful piece of artwork right there. That is something sexy right there. Here.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, this section's a bit deeper down.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to get used to putting your fingers back here. I'm used to being able to wrap it a bit more on the DualShock.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, with this, let me see. With this guy says he has not very large hands. I got big, wide, short, stubby,
mitts,
big meaty claws. And for me, I actually prefer. I've always preferred the Xbox controller.
Yeah.
So I like that it almost feels sectioned off. Mm-hmm. The PS4 DualShock is you're almost like holding the whole thing, like you're swallowing it basically with your hands, right?
Yeah.
This feels really natural.
Yeah.
Like this hand does this hand does this shit. This hand does this shit.
Yep.
And it's all dedicated to where it's supposed to be. I mean, just gripping it, you always want everything to be a natural movement of your hands.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to strain too much. You don't want to have to reach. One of the problems with the PS4 controller was the option button felt really weird where it was next to the trackpad, or the touchpad, rather. And you just almost never touched the share button. Yeah. Just because where they were, it was very awkward on your hands. I mean, and you guys have played the PlayStation. I don't know why I'm showing you this, but you understand. Like the option button was really the option button and the share button were really strange on the controller. Yeah. And so kind of made it so that like forced you to do things that were more comfortable for your hands. Mm-hmm. Right? So instead of hitting the options button, unless in game I needed it, I just hit the PS button, or just found alternatives to it. Yeah. The share button didn't get used a lot, so it just feels better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think most people are going to like it better than the DualShock, and that was surprising to me because DualShock's legendary for being a timeless design that's been used since the original PlayStation.
It is. I mean, I say all that shit that I just said, and that's, to me, is nitpicking. I think that it's an incredible controller design.
Yeah. But I agree with you. I think that the Xbox controller from like 360 on has been the best controller. Yeah.
It's better.
For sure.
Yeah. I just don't know how you can argue that. It's just
except for like, fighting games.
Yeah, and even that, I mean, people say that, but I mean, I guess I don't play enough fighting games to understand like what the advantage is to the DualShock versus the Xbox controller.
It's literally just that it's not that offset. Yeah. So this is very much a what's it called? What's this guy called?
The D-pad?
D-pad centric controller.
Right.
So, if I'm trying to be accurate with a Hadouken, it's much easier for me to do that with a D-pad as opposed to
I
a
understand.
joystick.
Right.
So, for anything like that, for platformers that are like 2D side-scrolling platformers,
Yeah.
I always prefer PlayStation controllers because you have the D-pad and it's just feels more accurate.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But, for shooters, which is what most people play nowadays, the joystick's great.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, all that being said, I really don't have a lot negative to say about it so far. Knock on wood. I mean, it may not turn on tonight, but so far it's just been
network failure.
It's been great. I'm really impressed by what they were able to put together, especially considering the pandemic. That the fact that I have one in my house right now is, I don't know,
a small miracle.
It's impressive. It's impressive to me that they were able to do that, and a lot of people are getting them now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, give it a shot. Keep an ear out for when they're releasing. Follow Warrior 64. And yeah, I mean, if I can do it, you can too.
That's right. That's inspirational.
Yeah.
That's what the people want to hear. People need to be inspired.
Yeah.
They need to know that it's out there for you.
You can find it.
You just got to reach a little bit.
You got to want it. You got to get a little lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But it's out there.
I mean, that's what success is about.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the drive. It's about the passion. And a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
And a little bit of can-do attitude.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right?
I didn't give up.
That's right. Most people in your shoes would have.
Yeah. I came close.
If I didn't get it the night of, that was it.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't got it, so. I got other shit.
Uh-huh.
I got other shit.
Yeah.
I spent money on stupid shit. But like good shit.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
shit.
Stiff.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. I mean, hopefully people notice the difference.
I really hope so. It's going to be depressing if they're like, nah, it still looks like shit.
It's still garbage. Yeah, no.
You're still filming a couple assholes.
I'm gonna go in and hopefully do some After Effect kind of stuff that makes it looks even better. But yeah, I mean, we got new camera. One of the things that I've always wanted
Another Sony product.
Yeah. Oddly enough,
We're funding Japan.
well, I went to the store to get just a and people who know cameras and are more well versed in these sorts of things probably going to cringe at this, but I went in looking for just
To Best Buy too.
I went at
Oh my god.
It's kind of crazy that we didn't see each other.
Wow.
I went in under the motivation that I was going to get a Canon Rebel T7.
Yeah.
That
Entry
was-
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one. Anytime
value.
you Google like good beginner cameras.
Yeah, I mean, I got the T3 for a birthday and used that forever.
I mean, it's still usable.
Not even T3i, just the T3.
Just the T3. Ugh.
Crap.
I mean, that's it's.
But it's a good learner. It gives you a
is.
good foundation for all the little buttons and, focusing and learning the fundamentals. It's,
Right. Right.
Great.
There is so much to it that it's amazing to me that like almost everything that you can get into, there is that second layer, that third layer.
Oh,
there's
you can
levels to
always go
everything.
deeper.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love that everything that you can get into, there is another layer to it where it's like, all right, you're past the surface level casualness of it.
Yeah.
Now let me show you some real shit. Like, I mean, you can go out and you can take really nice pictures on your phone. Anybody can do that now.
Sure.
At this point, the technology is advanced that you can take a nice picture. With your
You
phone.
can film a movie on your phone.
You can film a movie on your phone.
Yeah.
And that's dope. That's awesome. It's beautiful that technology has got to that point. But there's always that second level where you're like, all right, you've opened the door. Now let me show you.
Yeah.
Let me show you that real shit.
Walk in.
So I go in looking for a T7, thinking like, this is the joint. This is I'm just gonna start with this shit. And luckily the guy that I found at Best Buy was a photographer, which is kind of weird because I found him in like the computer section and he knew all this shit about cameras. So I'm like, hey man,
He tells people he's a programmer when they ask him in the computer section.
and he's in the cell phones. Yeah. He's like, I've had so many cell phones.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I designed these in my downtime.
Have you seen that TV? I was part of the design team on that TV. So I'm like, I'm just trying to get the Canon here in the corner, and he was and I said the Canon Rebel, and he's like, Rebel, and I was like, yeah, man, and he's like, all right, now, and I was like, what? And he's like, I'm just fucking with you, man. It's a good camera, and I'm like, dude, no, I don't know a fucking thing about photography, videography. What do you think? So he basically goes down the list of all the pros and cons of the camera, and then he's like, but let me show you this. And he brings me all the way around the corner, and he's like, this is the joint. This is the jam. So I ended up getting a Sony Alpha 6100, which is like the baby brother of the 6400, which is like the ooh-wee, the you know, the Yeah. So it's still like a beginner camera, but it's
elevated.
Like that. Yes, exactly. So, you know, the minute you get something like that,
a cool beginner,
right? Where you're like, I'm a beginner, but I'm not like that fucking guy.
Right.
The minute you get your hands on something like that, you're like, I want to know everything about this.
Yeah.
I told myself, this is a utility purchase. It's for the podcast. It's for music videos. If we want to film some short videos and stuff like that, just anything that we want. It's a utility purchase.
Yeah.
I told myself, I'm not going to be one of those guys who's like, I'm a photographer now. And you get all into it. You get a bunch of lenses and you want to take everyone's picture and shit. Yeah. It's like, I'm not that guy.
You fall into the hole, but in a aggressively obnoxious way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told myself I wasn't going to be that dude, but it really does. There is something to you. There is a siren call when you have something like that in your hands. It makes you want to. There's so many things to learn about it. Yeah. That it makes you want to know everything about it. Mm-hmm. You want to be able to click any fucking thing on there and know exactly what you're doing. Yeah. It's I don't know. It gets you, man. It gets you. You're like, I need to learn. I need to know how to do that thing. I don't like having a device that I don't know what that thing is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like for the phones, for instance, whenever I get a new, or I mean, I guess it doesn't matter now. There hasn't been a lot of huge changes in the past couple of years, but the first time I got an iPhone, like I think it was like the iPhone 4 or 5, you go through. I would go through all of the menu screens. I would go through all the settings and stuff and just like click through shit just to kind of figure out, what does this thing do? What does that thing do? How do I find this thing? Just so you know, like with the MacBook, you go through different menu screens and you're like, that's been there this whole time? And I
wanted to do that months ago.
Exactly. This if I would have known that was there, this would have made my life so much easier. So, you know, it's the same thing with the camera. It's all built into the device where you're going through these menu screens and you're like, all I had to do is turn that off and then everything is different. So, yeah, it's fascinating. I like shit like that. Nice. Now, I say all that and then, you know, 2 episodes from now, I'll be like,
bored.
I went back to the Panasonic.
I got a PlayStation.
I got a PlayStation and now, I don't know. We're going back to audio.
I'm not going outside anymore. We'll record remotely. It's fine.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah. We both got PlayStation, so we just go back to the Zoom calls. Look, dude, I couldn't make it.
We record with a laptop in our laps as we're playing online.
We should do an episode like that.
We could.
Where we're literally just like...
Hey, we get a couple PlayStation cameras. We can actually Twitch stream. Something like that. Yeah. Y'all let us know if we should do that, because we're open.
Yeah. Speaking of Twitch, have you seen the new, all of these new terms of services for all the apps, especially Twitch and YouTube?
Yes.
It's been fucking intense.
Yeah, because I mean they were flat out banning people immediately. Yeah, just because they had music in their old videos.
fucking crazy.
And if you think, like, if somebody's one of those Twitch streamers who does it every single day, and they were recording stuff for years, and they had music in all of those videos.
And doing like those...
Can you imagine?
Doing like a just chatting stream
Mm-hmm.
where you're sitting there just talking to chat
Yeah.
for like 5 hours.
Right. And apparently they've told people in those situations, like, yeah, we're sorry, but you got to take them down or you're going to be banned.
That's nuts, man.
So there's a lot of people who are out of luck.
Yeah. And I mean, the crazy thing about this is, what did Twitch think was coming? Like, when you get to a point where you're being able to pay people millions of dollars to be on your streaming service or your service period, when you get to that point, I mean, you're a machine. You're a big, big machine. And, I mean, not only that, Twitch is owned by Amazon, so it's like...
The biggest of machines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what did you think was going to happen? I mean, I think we're both, like... the kind of people who would just be like, you know what, fuck you. Just let people use the fucking music. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
When it comes to, like, obviously, if your whole stream is just, you know, playing other people's shit,
and
as creatives, I think we would both be like, all right, well, I want a little piece of that scratch. You're making millions of dollars off of my shit.
There's a huge difference if it's just literally a blank screen and they're playing the album that, you know, you're trying to sell.
Right. I don't want nobody just taking my shit and then just playing it and going, isn't this dope? Now pay me. Fuck him.
Right.
But the IRL streams, the just chatting streams, stuff like that, where it's like, I mean, fuck, man. They were getting on people walking through stores and the music's playing in the store that you're walking through. It's like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Mute the stream? Then what's the point of the stream?
That content can no longer exist.
Something's got to change, because this is the wrong direction to go in.
Yeah.
To start, you know, cracking down and laying the hammer down on people, this is not the right direction to go.
Yeah.
And I understand capitalism rules this country. I get that. You have to weigh your profit versus the I guess the risk that you take with alienating all of these people, because it's a huge portion of your... I mean, there, you know, like everyone's talking about Instagram, for instance, right now. Instagram rolled out this wacky update. That
gross.
I mean, it's resoundingly being panned.
Yeah.
Across the board. And everyone's talking about how, like, I mean, everyone's going to migrate over to Twitter, and, you know, we abandoned MySpace and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, everybody's got their rose-colored glasses on for MySpace. It's like, MySpace was dog shit, okay?
Yeah.
Stop. Like, it's funny, but when you actually sit here and talk about how, oh, man, we did MySpace dirty. No.
You were just 12.
Exactly. MySpace sucked.
Yeah.
Okay? Everyone always brags about how we were coding, and you weren't coding. You were doing basic HTML.
Yeah.
And the problem was you fucking you Carlos, I think, who said on Twitter, people they created music tracks on their fucking pages, and then they hid it. So then you couldn't turn it off. So every time you go to somebody's page, you hear fucking Christina Aguilera screaming at you.
Yeah. Or Linkin Park.
And everybody...
My Chemical Romance.
Everybody wanted to have, like...
Sparkles.
Yeah, or your name falling down.
Yep.
So then you slow
Spinning.
down. Dude, it made going to your profile unbearable.
Yeah.
We ruined it. Okay,
we sure
fucked it up.
Yep.
And then once everybody got tired of it, we all moved on to Facebook. So don't sit here and pretend like it was this beautiful oasis of a website and we all just got tired of it.
It's because you didn't have a mortgage.
Exactly.
That's why. That's why it was better.
That's why it was better, because it sucked. Okay.
Yeah.
And Instagram, I don't know, man. It's one of the it's the reason I bring up Instagram is because it's capitalism versus your consumer base, because they're gonna make money despite themselves, but you have to think about what is the long-term effects of doing of updating something or creating something or doing something on your site that is so alienating to people who are loyal to your site that you take the short-term millions that Instagram will make off of the shop, for instance, versus all of the people going, Instagram is old news.
But
because your reputation is on the line. That is that for some reason, I mean, we're at a point now where that matters.
Yeah.
How people feel about a thing matters. It doesn't matter how viable the site is or how useful it is. It matters how people feel about it.
But that's always been the case. That's always the case for any product. It always boils down to how do people feel about it.
Yeah.
Because if they don't feel good about it, they're not going to use it or they're not going to buy it.
Yeah.
And you're going to go out of business. I mean, it's a gamble. It's a gamble that they do that because they see a revenue stream that they weren't tapping before, and they're hoping to do it now. And it's a gamble to see if this is one of those things that maybe people will complain about for a solid month. They get all their memes out, and then month 2, it's just the way that we remember Instagram now.
Yeah.
You know? So if that happens, and then people start seeing it as a marketplace, it works out for them.
That's true.
But if people do really start jumping ship, could have shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, I mean it's a gamble that all of these sites seem to be taking. I mean, the thing with Twitch is these labels are going, no, we want some of that pie too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it all comes back down to fucking consumerism and capitalism. Same thing with YouTube. Their terms of services was updated, and it's another just straight up capitalist based, like, we're gonna throw a bunch of ads, and if you're not a YouTube partner, kind of go fuck yourself because we're gonna throw them on there anyway.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother. That's a
can of worms. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the Twitch thing, it seems to be the main issue is not even within Twitch. It is their fear of litigation from all of the record labels.
I think it's their fear of paying these record labels, because all they have to do is come up with some kind of licensing agreement.
Yeah, I suppose so. But then it becomes a thing of like, if you just, let's say your example of somebody walking through the mall and something's playing over the PA.
Yeah.
How would that work?
Somebody's got to pay for it, or somebody eats that. So let's say I have a just chatting stream. You like social media services do now, where you have all of these things. It's an agreement between the record labels, the streaming services, and say a Twitch or a YouTube, where whoever has agreed upon this thing, you can use that music. Mm-hmm. It's a agreement between them, and as the user of that, I sign the TOS, and if I want to throw, I don't know, Childish Gambino on my stream, that's just part of what I paid as a premium user of this service.
Okay.
Twitch obviously is something that is a little different because anybody can use it for free.
Right.
But you can pay, or I guess, I don't know if you can, but I think that's the future of it. You pay for like a Twitch Pro plan, and then you're part of that agreement, right?
Yeah. I guess it just, in my mind, it gets complicated when you get to certain record labels that, like, are especially frugal with their music, like, anything from the Beatles.
Yeah.
Or, King Crimson for a long time. You couldn't find it on any streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
So if, like, I just happen to be on my Spotify and I hit random and Court of the Crimson King comes on and they haven't signed over to have those rights from Twitch, Does that just mean that one Twitch stream is no longer allowed?
Yeah.
They just flag it?
Yeah, you're fucked on that one.
All right.
Which is really fucked up, but I mean, the thing is, we're talking about the branches of a problem that has deep, 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 deep roots.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, when you get down to the nitty-gritty, fuck Twitch streamers. The people who are making this music are the ones who are getting fucked the most.
Oh yeah.
You know, you want to talk about...
They are the original creators within this entire cycle.
Exactly. And at this, you know, you've got Spotify.
The Beatles are starving. I don't know if you know that.
You've got that bald fuck at Spotify who's negotiating deals with the licensing agreement with, you know, Twitch and these other services, and it's like, who appointed this dude to negotiate on my behalf?
Yeah. Who
can use my music? It's fucking bullshit. Yeah. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's a deeper rooted problem than just, yeah, if you walk through the mall and they're playing fucking DaBaby and he didn't license that, you know, it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, because this is a very complicated problem, because technology just moves too fast, dude. Mm-hmm. We're at a point where this shit just moves too fast, and then by the time you've discovered a problem, it's
the next one's cropped up.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're like, fuck. What do we do?
Yeah.
How do we make it so that it's fair for everybody? And it's never fair for everybody.
I was going to say, I'm sure they'll figure out an amicable ending for everyone involved.
Yeah.
I have the utmost confidence that this will not end in exploitation of artists.
Artists won't get fucked at all.
No.
Prepare that lube, baby. All right. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Can you end every show like that?
Prepare that lube,
yeah.
baby. Yeah. Tonight's brew was the Voodoo Ranger from the New Belgium Brewery Company, the Higher Plane IPA. Obi, what did you think of this brew?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan. It kind of hits you over the head with the hops, but not in a really pleasant way, in my opinion. I don't know. There's just something that doesn't taste like fresh. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the vocabulary I need to describe what is turning me off of this a little bit. But I guess it's just a little harsh.
Yeah.
And I'm somebody who enjoys very hoppy beers, but not in this way. I like the flavor of the hops I'm not really enjoying. It's not melding for me in a super pleasant way.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I'm not going to say it's bad. It's not bad at all. But I would just barely recommend getting this again. So that being said, I'd give it a 3.5.
Okay. I would give it a 4. But mostly for the same reasons that you did. Yeah, because that bitterness is it's a lump on the head. It definitely hits you, and you're like,
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's strangely like sharp or something.
Yes,
I don't know what it is. It's just like an unpleasant mouthfeel.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. It's sharp.
Yeah,
sharp. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I feel like we've gotten so far away from that OG Voodoo Ranger that I can't even place how much different this is or how it relates to the original one.
I guess it being a hazy had me thinking it'd be much smoother than it is too.
But it's also an Imperial.
It's true.
Hazy Imperial.
Yeah.
I kind of want to... I'll stick with 4. I'll stick with 4. I'll stick with 4. Okay. I kind of wanted to go 3.5.
Yeah, go with your gut.
My gut's telling me that I'm sticking with 4 to be nice.
Okay. We owe them nothing,
Yeah, that's why I'm going to go 3.5.
Okay.
This is a unanimous 3.5 because we don't owe them anything. And the more that I drink it, the more I'm like, you're right. It's like Yeah. It's a little it's a little much.
Yeah.
It's a little much.
Not to shit on Voodoo Ranger. I think we've been pretty high on the rest of their selections, but yeah, this one not quite up to the standard they've set for themselves.
Not up to snuff.
But again, not bad. I would say don't avoid it if you're a fan of, stronger IPAs.
Certainly try it. Maybe
Yeah.
we're wrong. I mean, we're not, because
It's
this
true,
is the
yeah.
One Beer and Podcast. Of
course.
So we're not. But you may disagree, and then you'd be wrong.
Yeah.
But give it a shot.
Yeah.
Drink it.
Very easily found everywhere because it's, one of those widely released beers.
Yeah, New Belgium hit on something. I don't know if it's the artwork. I don't know if it's like they can just say, this is our Voodoo Ranger, blah. This is our Voodoo Ranger, blah.
Yeah.
And they just kind of throw it out there, but they really have. I thought the Voodoo Ranger was a one-off, limited edition
Yeah.
kind of deal, and now they're
Yeah,
like,
no,
no, this is
its own side
is our
brand
thing now,
Yeah. I mean, they have their own IG,
yeah.
So
Oh yeah, that's right. And they go on our page a lot.
they do. That's what I was saying. We appreciate you, Voodoo Ranger. But yeah, I think we're just fans of the other beers more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna backtrack.
No,
Fight me, Voodoo Ranger.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So a unanimous 3.5 for the Higher Plane IPA Voodoo Ranger from the New Belgium Brewing Company. You think we got it?
I know we do.
Well, if you say so, then that means this has been the One Baron Podcast. For myself, Marco Dupa. For Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
PlayStation.
This, I was about to restart because I drink
Okay.
drink delicious beer. Like, share, and subscribe everywhere the podcasts are sold or listened to. And have a beautiful evening.
We love you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.